Namaskar. We are going to have a glimpse of Changdev Pasashti. And I hope we all know the story behind the Changdev Pasashti. Once what happened that Changdev Maharaj, who happened to be 1400 years old, 1400 years old, just listen to this story. What he used to do, whenever at the age of 100, he had to leave his body, he used to stop his soul to live in that body. And he extended his life up to 1400 years. So he became yogi, and I hope everybody knows that I want to be the biggest yogi, I want to be the richest person, I want to be the biggest king, and all these ambitions almost 99 by 100 people have, for example. So he became that kind of yogi, one of the greatest yogi in fact. So what happened, once Dnyaneshwar Maharaj was there, he visited one place, and nearby Changdev Maharaj used to stay. So Changdev Maharaj thought over it, I should write a letter to that boy. He is 21 years old. Oh, 21 years old. But what should I write? Should I write revered Dnyaneshwar Maharaj? But he is just 21 years old. For example, 20 years old. So it means he is 70 times younger than him. So how can he write down revered or respected or something like that? So he just sent the blank paper to Dnyaneshwar Maharaj. So Nirutid Jnandev Sopande Muktabai, they said, oh my God, after 1400 years of living, he couldn't write a single word. He has remained blank. So Nivrutinath said, Dnyaneshwar, write down something to him, and so that he becomes the realized soul. So at that time he wrote down this Changdev Pasashti. Okay. And each and every word tells us about the quantum theory, and like rarefication, once the universe expands, the rarefication occurs, and the formless God appears to be more existing than the God having the body. For example, Prithvi Mata, Mother Earth, and all those things becomes rare things to see. So like that, so many things have come over here. Then the crux of Changdev Pasashti is that we have to live such a beautiful life that our soul gets merged with the infinite soul, and whether God is living with us or we are living with God, or whatever we are doing becomes our the work is worship at each moment, 24/7, with each pulse beat, with each heart beat. So he wrote this. Then he didn't understand a single word, so he started sitting on the tiger, because he hypnotized the tiger, or he started controlling the tiger, and tiger started following his words. And so he started coming by road to meet him. And you might be knowing that Namaskar happens if Chamatkar is there, means if the miracle is there, whosoever creates the miracles, people start running after him. In millions, people started following him. One of them said that, who is that Dnyaneshwar in front of Changdev Maharaj? What does he think of him, and all those things. You go and see the movies and all those things. So Nivrutinath said, Changdev Maharaj is coming on the tiger. What should we do? Okay, let us go and meet him. He just touched the wall over which this Nivrutid Jnandev Sopande Muktabai, all four brothers and sisters, siblings were sitting. That wall flew and went on to meet him. Oh, he immediately stepped down from the tiger and touched his feet. He said, I can hypnotize, I can control the living beings, not the non-living thing. In fact, there is nothing which is not living. Even stones, atoms, and everything has life. Remember, life is there inside everything. Shiva Bhutva Shivam Yajit, and everything is alive. Just remember. That should be your experience. So that's what even Dnyaneshwar Maharaj said to him. And then people realized that Dnyaneshwar Maharaj has bigger authority than these people who are famous and all those things. So immediately Changdev Maharaj said, "You become my guru." He said, Dnyaneshwar Maharaj said, "No, I don't have that authority. That authority belongs to Muktai." She was just 7 years old, 200 times younger to him, Changdev Maharaj. The conclusion is that 1400 years old should surrender himself at the feet of 7-year-old child, so that his egoism, then show off of yoga, then me, myself, attachment to the body gets surrendered at the feet of Sadguru and the God, ultimately the infinite God. And that's what happened. And then after that, he didn't extended his life by yogic steps and all those things. He went on to become Sant Dnyaneshwar and self-realized soul. That is the story. So you see, we are going to see 10 like that, so that in all the movies one and the same thing has been told. Like about Dnyaneshwar Maharaj said about Gita, सातही शते ते श्लोक परी देव बोलिले जे नाही दुजे. In all the 700 verses of Gita, Shri Krishna has told only one thing, that it exists, God exists everywhere, and you have to become unionized with the God, become yogi and bhakti, and live the life, selfless life forever. Same thing in all the 65 verses. Dnyaneshwar Maharaj also has said same thing. I couldn't explain in this beautiful fashion by God's grace in Marathi and Hindi, because every time people talk about knowledge nowadays, everything, all the knowledge is in English. Okay, let's go ahead. स्वस्ति श्री वटेशी जो लपुनी जगदा भासू दावी मग ग्रासू प्रगटाला करी. Hey child Changdev, swasti means swasti, Shubham Bhavatu, swasti. In Sanskrit, whenever they talk in Sanskrit, may everything good happens to you. May sarve pisukina santu, sarve santu nirabaya, sarve bhadrani paschantu ma kaschit dukho apnaya. Everybody should be happy, always fit physically, mind and bodily, and everybody should be happy. Like that, you should be happy. Everything good should happen to you. It will happen to you. In fact, that is a blessing. Jo laponi jagada bhasu, that Paramatma, that God is there, but it is hiding himself. Then it starts displaying his existence. Whether he is hiding himself or whether he is showing his existence, we are not understanding, but it is always there. Try understand. Whether it is hiding in beyond millions of galaxies, what is there? We don't know. So that don't know factor is also there. Beyond our mind, inside our mind, what is there? We don't know. But that we don't know and we know it. God is beyond these words. Whether we don't know or whether we know it, whether it is hiding or whether it is displaying itself, it is beyond this duality. Try to understand. And in all these words and all these experiences, God is there at all the times. We don't know about that. Okay, that is also God's existence. We know about that. That is also God's existence. It is beyond all this. Jagada Vasu. It is beyond immaterial thing, beyond the ignorance, and beyond the knowledge, beyond conscious, beyond non-conscious things, beyond the existence and non-existence. Try understand. It's beyond all this duality. Pragate tavan न दिसे, लपे तव आभासे, प्रकटना लपाला असे, लपला असे, न खोमता जो. So many places, so many words have been written. We'll try to check it out. Whenever we start understanding God, at that time this worldly existence become rare and minimal for us. By that way, whenever we see the God, we forget the world. Whenever we remember the word, we forget the God. But it is beyond that. So it is not hiding itself, it is not expressing itself, it is not showing itself, it is not making itself unbelievable and believable and all those things. Beyond those words it is there. बहु जवळजवळ होय तव तव काहीच नव्हे, काही नको नाही अवघा चीजो. We already saw when the lot of rarefication will be there, when the distance between earth and moon and earth and sun will be is going to increase. At that time more rarefication will be there. It is beyond that. If God is there in rarefication, then God is there in highly densely packed situation as well. There are a lot of people who have seen Shri Krishna. I have seen a lot of people who have seen Vithala, Ram, then Devi, Ganesha, Hanumanji. So many people might have seen. So many people might have seen Jesus Christ. So many people might have seen, in other religion and other places. So many sadhus, saints, and so many divine beings they might have seen. So once they get highly densely packed, they come into being. Once they get rarefied, they are into each and every entity and every place. So that God is there everywhere. There is not a single place where God is not there. That energy is not there. That conscious is not there. Beyond all these words, it is there. And in these words also God is there. Try to understand. सोने सोनेपणा उणे न येताची झाले लेणे, तेवी न वेचता जग होणे अंगे ज्या. The ornaments of gold. In those ornaments also gold is there, and gold is there in the the bigger mass of gold is there. For example, the biscuits and all those things. In that also gold is there. In the gold mine also gold is there. But in that gold, in the gold inside the mine, gold inside the biscuit, goes inside the ornament. Everywhere gold is there, and Paramatma is there in those gold as well. At each place and each state, at each phase of life, in each state as well. Okay? Because if you heat the gold, it becomes liquid state. That's why I'm saying. सोने सोनेपणा उणे न येताची झाले लेणे, तेवी न वेचता जग होणे अंगे ज्या. Similarly, that God is there, it is, I am also made up of God, you all are also made up of God. This chair, that those solar panels, the sky, the Mother Earth, everywhere God is there. Everything is made up of God. We also saw someday earlier, as we are Nimitti Matra, similarly the Mother Earth is also Nimitti Matra. We have come here for a purpose. And God has just propagated us to do that work. Just propagated Mother Earth to do that work. Just propagated Sun to do that work. Even Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh also have their work, assigned work. And they are also trying to become Yogi Bhakta forever. So we are on the same path as Samartha Ramdas said to Shivaji Maharaj. Similarly, Changdev, you and me are on the same path. But try to understand these basic fundamentals of Paramatma. That God is there everywhere. Another example, Kallola Kanchuka, na Fedita Ugde Udaka, Tevi Jagesi Samyaka Swarupazo. Fifth. Now there are many tides on the ocean. Similarly, drop by drop, the water comes as a rainfall. In that drop, water is there. In the tide and in In the ocean also, that water is there. Similarly, in me, you, and every entity, that God is there. Whether that entity is a virus, whether that entity is quark, whether that entity is Planck's length, whether that entity is electron, proton, and whatever it may be, or whether it is a galaxy and collection of infinite galaxy, God is there. And God is there with it is full might. You might be thinking that in the Hiroshima and Nagasaki atom bomb was dropped, so only few grams of atom was converted into energy. So how can in that few atoms infinite God could be there? You are converting that energy into another state. You are converting water into ice. Ice expands, remember that. It is exactly opposite thing at 4 degrees Celsius. Anomalous behavior of water. But while converting, energy is lost or energy is gained. That is a material phenomena. But God is there infinitely in each dot, in infinite dots as well. God is infinite, that is exists everywhere. Infinitely it exists in a small atom as well as in biggest of the biggest galaxies. You and me as well. Try to understand. Samyak. It is everywhere in similar fashion. It is there. Samyak means equally existing. Swarupajo means you have become one with the God, formless God. Your soul has merged with the infinite soul. You have become yogi, bhakta for your 24/7. You should feel it, and by understanding it, it should happen. By understanding it happens, then you will feel happiness. You see, a lot of butterflies and a lot of birds and all those people come and listen. Whether human beings listen or not, I don't know. I mean, I trust all of you. परमाणूंची या मांदिया पृथ्वीपण्यानं वचेची वाया तेवी विश्वस्फूर्ती या झाकवेना जो. परमाणू मीन्स अणू मीन्स ॲटम, परमाणू मीन्स मॉलिक्युल्स. पृथ्वीपणेनं वचेची वाया. In each atom, in each molecule, God is there in infinite state. Similarly, God is there in a Mother Earth as well, in infinite state. तेवी विश्वस्फूर्ती या झाकवेना जो. So, when it is showing itself through each atom and Mother Earth, its existence we come to know because of Mother Earth. It is infinitely present whether you see it or not, whether you feel it or not. You cannot hide the existence of infinite God, whether it is been seen or not seen, whether it has been heard or not heard, whether it has been conceived or not conceived, whether you can understand or don't understand, but it is there. It is beyond all this duality. कळांचेनी पांघुणे चंद्रमा हरपो नेणे का वन्नी दीपपणे आन नोहे. 7th. Now kala means phases of moon. Chandrama means moon. You see, there are 15 phases from first day to the full moon day, and again 15 phases from no moon day to the small state. Okay, so again 15 states are there, phases are there, 15 phases are there. So those 14 phases are similar except for full moon and no moon day. So full moon plus no moon day plus 14 phases, it becomes 16 phases of moon. Now, do you mean that these phases shows the existence of moon, or because moon exists, that is why these 16 phases are there? Okay, both are true in one sense. If you think in another sense, you think it means that when moon is there, that is why 16 phases are there. God is there, that is why you can see 16 phases, or maybe the different kinds of existence of matter, no matter, and antimatter, and so many things. Prithvi, Aap, Tej, Vayu, Akash, and all those things. You can see all those things, and these are the phases of God. These are the, in different species, in different things, you can see God, because God is there in different things. Ekoham Bhusya. That God is only one, but this has been expressed and exists in different way and different fashions and different phases and different entities. Okay, try understand. का वन्ही दीपपणे आनंद होय. Like you see, when the lamp is there enlightened, for example, that small flame is there. In that flame also Agni is there. In the sun also Agni is there. And biggest of the biggest star and galaxy, the Agni is there. Agni means the fire is there, whether small or big. Like that, whether small or big, God exists in infinite form. Try to understand. Beautiful. Next. म्हणून अविद्या निमित्ते दृश्य द्रष्टत्व वर्ते ते मी नेणे आयते ऐसेची असे. 8th. That is why, because of ignorance, you don't see God, or because of knowing, once you come to know, you become knowledgeable, then you see the God everywhere. But whether you know it or don't know it, God exists. Whether you see me or don't see me, still God is there, because God is beyond seeing and non-seeing. With non-seeing means not seeing, or whether it exists you feel, or whether it doesn't exist you feel. Whatever your feelings might be there, it is beyond those feelings. You can see or not see, it is beyond the seeing and not seeing. It is beyond the duality. Many a times, once you see the God, there are a lot of people who have seen Lord Hanuman, Vitthal, Shri Krishna, Ram, Devi. So many people have seen, Jesus Christ. Like we already seen. I already told you that ananyas chintayantu mam ye janah paripasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshamam vahamyam. 51 minutes Lord Vithala was sitting in front of me, for example. So like that, lot of people might have seen that. So this we have started expressing because of the direction of God only. So now, whether you express it or not express it, still God is there. Whether you are there or not there, still God is there. We are just nimitti matra, like me, or like sun, like mother, or like you or anybody. God is there. Another side of the story, that I have seen God, it means I am different and God is different. On purpose I am telling these things. Like that, even Changdev Maharaj used to have food with Lord Vithala. So there are many cases. But when you are seeing that God, you are different and God is different. Try understand. You have to vanish this gap. You become one with the God, unionize with God. Your soul should merge with the infinite soul of God. You become yogi. Vibhakta nasa teris bhakta mana. You become one with the God. You cannot be separated from God, and you live a unionized life, a beautiful life. That will be the true life. That is the true understanding of God. That is the true being of yourself. And you should be like that and live life like that. 24/7, with each pulse, with each heartbeat, in fact continuously. These are, digitally. Tag, stop them. Tag, the gap is there. No, continuously you should live with the God like that. Beautiful. For some moment you can see the God, again it gets merged into the infinite, its infinite self. But otherwise, infinite, formless God is always there. Next. So you have to get rid of your ignorance as well as being knowledgeable. You have to go beyond being knowledgeable and beyond ignorance. जेवी नाम मात्र लुगडे एरवी सुतजी ते उघडे का माती मृत भांडे जयापरी. 9th one. The cloth is there. Cloth is made up of a thread. A thread is made up of cotton. So the cotton is there in the thread as well as in the cloth as well. Like that, God is there everywhere. It is inside the cotton, inside the cloth, inside the thread as well. Like that, God is there inside me. You, me, and every entity in this world. Ka mati mrudbhanda jayapari. Like the clay is there in the clay pot, and on the earth as well. Earth is made up of clay. Clay is made up of earth. Then that clay pot, it is also made up of earth. And the earth is made up of Prithvi, Aap, Tej, Vayu, Akash. All the Panchamahabhuta are made up of Paramatma. So everything is made up of Paramatma. That formless God only. Beautiful. तेवी द्रष्टा दृश्य दशे अतीत दृमात्र जे असे त्याची द्रष्टा दृश्य मिसे केवळ होय. That is why the person who is seeing and whatever you are seeing, like the movie you watch, like that you get detached and watch this world going on, that should also want to vanish. Once the person who sees and whatever you are seeing becomes one, merge with each other, this Paramatma and our small soul gets merged with each other. At that time you will become a realized soul. At that time you will feel the real existence of God forever. At that time you will become a knowledgeable person. At that time you will become the real Changdev. At that time you will feel that you, me and all this Paramatma and everything are unionized and one and the same thing. This Ekoham Bhusyam experience you should have. Everybody should get it. Everybody can get it. Just you have to live a pious and pure ethical life. You have to live with the humanitarian values. With each pulse beat, with each heartbeat, 24/7. You can get this experience. That is what Sant Dnyaneshwar Maharaj is telling to Changdev Maharaj. And later he went on to become self-realized soul. We already saw it. So let us try to live such a beautiful life wherein at each moment we have experience of God. With each moment work is worship. At each moment throughout our life. Thank you very much.